I would be among the first to admit that we made mistakes in government. I will be among the first to admit that there was corruption within previous Antigua Labour Party administrations. But I have to admit that the corruption that exists today under the UPP regime makes corruption under the previous ALP administration child's play, my dear people.
I mean, this thing is explosive.
There will be no job losses under the Labour Party administration.
There may be trouble ahead, but while there's moonlight and music and love and romance,
I now turn to the water shortage that has plagued this country for some time. And I say to you tonight that leadership matters. I say to you tonight that the water shortage that our people have been experiencing is an issue that belongs to a different age. And I say too that we have made positive steps in order to resolve the water problem. And I guarantee you that within 14 days, there will be increased water supply in this country.
Let's face the music and dance.
A cornerstone of our general election campaign was the provision of affordable housing. Indeed, we promised 500 homes in 500 days. And we said to you that you would have gotten 500 homes in 500 days. Those with little or no vision said that it could not be done. Well, as your Prime Minister, I say to you that it can be done and that it shall be done.
Let's face the music and dance. Let's face the music and dance.
I mean, this thing is explosive.
This is True Labor Talks with your host, the executive of the Antigua Barbuda True Labor Party.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Weber III here with Lionel Nedwell. This is another episode of True Labor Talks. I believe it's the only podcast in the Leeward Islands or this region in general which deals really with the politics of this island in Antigua and Barbuda and the region overall, where it affects us. We're so closely linked to these other islands and so small that we have to take account of what has happened in the region because it may affect us.
That's right.
We just have a very interesting episode. It's been 4 months since our last episode, and that was due to circumstances out of our control.
That's true.
I traveled to New York in April, just after the election, and lost my passport on my way back to Antigua. I couldn't find my passport. So I was up here maxing and relaxing, and only came back just middle of August.
That's right.
So it's not that we get the bang off at the polls, tuck the tail between the legs, and went away.
Nothing at all.
Migrated.
No, nothing like that.
Because he couldn't handle the loss on the 21st of March.
Yeah, but we are so eager. Nothing like that.
Hey, Nedwell, say hello to everybody, man. It's been a while.
Yes. Good afternoon to our listeners and out there. It is so nice to be back with you again. As my co-host just told you, it was circumstances beyond our control why we were away from you for that little while. But we are here again to give you the true scoop of what's going on and let you know what we plan to do, because we still have our plans. and we intend to carry out our plans. So we are here, and we are picking up on this episode, and we'll be consistent from this time on.
Yeah, we just want to let people know that when we're out in the campaign trail and whatever we promise the people and what we plan to do, we will be moving forward.
Still in
with that.
existence.
I will get into that a little later.
That's
but
true.
I just wanted to start off really with, we mentioned the absence. And I just wanted to let a lot of the listeners to our podcast know the circumstances with their country. I went to New York around the 26th of April. Went through customs and immigration at the JFK International Airport, New York, Queens, New York. I was supposed to travel back on the 28th of May. And 28th is a Saturday, Friday night. I packed my bag, everything, had my ticket to come home. And the day before, the 27th in the night, because I had no problems. So the last thing I'm looking for is for my passport.
Last thing?
When I went to look for the passport,
Wasn't there.
can't find the passport.
Wasn't there.
The last time I remember having it was coming through customs and immigration. I had it on me. Disappeared. Whatever reason. Stolen or lost or
That's
misplaced. Couldn't find it. So the procedure there, boy. Lost my ticket. Had to try to replace it. Now this is the interesting part, because I want you all to listen. Hopefully you're not in the same circumstance that I was in. But just in case something happens, a misfortune, this will be a little guide to assist you with what to do. Well, I know that you're supposed to make a police report, so I went to the police station in Brooklyn. I think it was the 70th precinct. And then they told me, no, you don't just make a report because you're not from, and it's not an American passport.
Right.
What you have to do is make a complaint or report to your embassy in New York or wherever. And I tried to do that. Unfortunately, calling the New York embassy, Antigua and Barbuda embassy, up to now, Nedwell, I left messages on the 3 numbers they had. They had some UN number for the consulate, right? Then they had the tourism number for tourism board number.
That's right.
Then they had the general,
The regular-
everyday
that's right.
embassy number. Call all of them,
Nothing
got
happened.
an answering machine.
Oh, wait a second.
And that was in May. Left messages on all 3 numbers, the voicemail. And up to now, nobody is calling.
See?
Right? So anyway, luckily I knew somebody from Washington, and they told me, here's the number, because they lost their passport also.
Okay.
So they said, okay, I know who to contact. Call the embassy in the morning. Call the Washington, D.C. embassy. Spoke to the person, and they said, okay then. They weren't aware that you actually had to make a report to the embassy and get a letter to carry to the police in New York,
that's right.
NYPD. So he said, okay then, well, if that's the rule now or whenever. I said, yeah, that's what they told me, and they actually gave me a sheet. Paper with what it's required.
What's required?
Whatever it is, got it to me by email. He said, Mr. Bird, if you need it at the hard print, just let me know. So I carried the fax, the scanned copy to the 78th precinct. They accepted it, made out my complaint, lost the passport, last week I saw it, bam, 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 boom, 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 and so on. Then they tell me, okay then, well, you don't pick up your record complaint right here. You have to go downtown Manhattan at the One Policeman Plaza, and that is where you get the record. Went there a couple of days, like about 5 days later. Got the copy. It was free actually, because they told me it was some sort of money. I can't remember, but they gave it to me. Very pleasant.
Okay.
So a little shout out to the NYPD.
Yeah.
There's some good people in there.
I hear you.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
hey, Uncle Pat works there too. You know, that's where he works.
Yeah,
That's where Pat,
okay,
your
yeah,
classmate.
yeah,
Right
good buddy,
there,
my
right
good
there.
buddy.
Right
Hey.
at the same spot. Shout out to Uncle Pat. So I got the record of the complaint, and next thing you do, you fill out your application form, and then you send it in to what should have been the New York
Embassy. Yeah.
No word from them up to now. So I'm working with a guy from Washington, D.C.
Oh, God.
Now, the thing you have to know, what is important for the Antiguan public to realize, is that whatever you pay for the passport in Antigua, it's actually in U.S. if you're applying from the United States.
Okay.
So if they tell you $100 in stamps,
It's going to be 100
US in stamps. I can't remember, but I think it was over 140, 45 US I spent for the application.
Uh-huh.
Which shouldn't be.
No,
Just double
that's right.
2.71.
But it so actually is.
You understand?
Yeah.
If we're all Antiguans, then why am I paying more than if I was in Antigua?
That's so true.
I didn't stress it because I'm in a
Yeah,
tight
well,
spot.
Grace. You want to
And
come.
in addition to that, right, is that they had to send the passport to Antigua. So I'm thinking some sort of express courier, FedEx or whatever. So when you're in the lion's mouth, when you head in the lion's mouth, you have
Take
to just
your time.
withdraw it. Take your time and pull it
out.
out so that
That's
you don't,
right.
your head don't catch on
They
them
tell you.
sharp
and
tooth.
go.
All right. I said, boy, this one cost me, boy.
Yes,
But
yes,
let's
yes,
go. Just run the money. Come.
Whatever.
Get your
Whatever it
and
takes.
post some money orders,
Yeah.
bam, bam, bam.
Whatever
Sent
it
it
takes.
off. About, give or take a month later, I got the document, right? I think it was like the 18th of July. Well, not a month, it's May, June, July, yeah.
Yeah.
About July. About July, I got
Wow.
the document. The 18th of July, I finally got the document. And in addition to that is that I could have come home early August when that was carnival time. But I said, boy, I'm going to pay an arm and a leg come for
That's
a second
right,
week
the
in
cost of
August
the ticket
when people,
now.
with carnival going on or people
Yeah.
just leaving.
It's a
You pay
different cost.
$500 one way to
Yeah.
Antigua. So I said, okay then. So I came a little later, you know. Because that was just
Well
pure
thought.
economics.
Yeah.
I couldn't see $500 one way from Antigua to
No.
New York or New York to Antigua.
Because it's carnival time.
Because it's carnival time.
Carnival time.
You understand? So anyway, I got that resolved. But I was speaking to the official from the Washington, D.C. embassy. And I was telling him the problem I have. I know the Washington, D.C. embassy.
Yeah.
You see what happened? My dad was used to operate Bird and Bird. And one of the secretaries that used to work with Gracelyn Henry, she
she's
was
with
one of the first staff at the embassy in the New York embassy. Because she went up there after independence in 81.
Okay.
You understand? So I used to frequent the thing with Lloydston Jacobs and his wife Madge and so on. And I remember the past, how active the New York embassy was.
yeah.
Because that was really the linchpin. That was really pushing Antigua as an independent country.
true.
And we're trying to
Yeah.
bring tourists to our country
That's
to
right.
make some
Uh-huh.
economy
That's
in
right.
tourism. So I remember that as being a bustling place of commerce.
Yeah,
That
quite
when you say
affable.
we need an ambassador in New
Quite
York, we
affable.
need it.
That's right.
That's the financial capital of the world.
Yeah, that's what
And
it is.
I am calling
That's
you
right.
to tell you that I am an Antiguan and I lost my passport.
And you
God
can't get
forbid
through.
that I didn't have anywhere to stay. Suppose I was traveling and just in a hotel.
You know what I'm saying?
Luckily, my mother has a home up there,
It's
a
there,
family home,
that's
so I'll
right.
go up there. But suppose the situation was that I lost my passport.
would have been-
I don't come to New York a lot. I was
Just,
in a hotel.
You know what I'm saying?
I could have been destitute.
Serious.
Right,
Serious.
what do you do?
No.
What do you do?
Sleep
Your
in
money
the-
gonna run out eventually.
You sleep in the park. But I need to say something about this. And this is going to tie into something else too, like CCJ. Now, I remembered when I was in the States, because you know I lived in the States for a while.
Yeah.
My apartment was broken into and my passport and stuff like that was taken. And it took me less than 2 weeks with the British Embassy, because at that time we were still under the British. We
We
wasn't,
weren't a colonies yet.
That's
We
right.
weren't- We're still a colony, I mean. We weren't
2
independent.
weeks there with little or no hassle to get a passport back for me to travel.
From the United Kingdom. Buddy,
That's right.
I haven't received a word from the New York embassy.
That is so insane.
It's August way now.
Yeah,
You understand?
yeah. That
But
is
I will
out
go
of
on
hand.
further to say that I spoke to the guy, the official in Washington, D.C.
Uh-huh.
And I'm telling him, but I called New York, I called all the 3 numbers, I left a message.
Yeah.
Nobody
Nothing,
called me
no
back. There's
response.
not even a receptionist
No
at the
response.
New York embassy. I remember going there as a little boy. Like 10, 11, 12. Before I
Yeah.
left Antigua, 11 years old, we used to travel to New York for summer and so
That's
on.
right.
And to see Gracie Head, who was
That's
there.
so
She
true.
eventually moved over to the Washington, D.C. embassy. But when she was in New York, we were there with Lois and Jake. He's actually a godfather of mine also.
Oh, okay.
You understand? So I
So-
know these people. And I am shocked to see
How
how
they
far it has
operated there.
digressed.
Deteriorated, man.
Deteriorated.
So what happened, I told the official, listen, I tried to call the embassy and then I get anybody. Somebody gave me a number and so on. You know, this person, they told me they lost their passport. He said, boy, I handled so much, I don't remember. But he said, yeah, you know what? I still have the same problems. So we tried to reach them in New York and we can't. Embassy in Washington, D.C. tries to reach the embassy. I can't get them.
So they don't function.
The individual tell me that that's the same problem with Florida too. They don't answer their phones.
They're not
so
functioning.
What are we getting representing us abroad? If you have an embassy and you're playing staff, to when you have a problem overseas to look about your interest, you can't get them.
This
if
is
you're
out
in
of hand.
New York, how many hundreds of miles away from Washington, D.C.?
You know what I'm saying?
If you're in Florida, how many hundreds, if not 1,000
Oh
or so
man,
miles
serious.
away
Some serious amount of miles.
from Florida.
Yeah.
And you're going to come to tell me you were in an emergency.
You still have to go
and you
back.
call your embassy in the United States and nobody bothered to pick up a phone.
Something
That's
is
my
wrong.
experience.
Something is
Thinks
wrong.
that I'm lying because of politics,
Yep.
go call the number.
They are
Get up
not.
online and go call the New York embassy or the
Yeah, I'm
Florida
saying.
embassy and see what you get. All right? So anyway, the individual at the Washington, D.C. embassy did assist me. I thank him so much, and we were able to get out of New York and come back home.
That is good.
And that is why we're here
Good
today.
to be back. Good to see you back, man.
It's a good thing that it happened this way too, because as you know, there is a honeymoon after the last election, the 21st of March.
Yeah.
We usually give the new administration some period of time
Couple of months,
to establish themselves, to get the ministers appointed and get
Yeah.
the instruments and put them in their ministries and start the ball rolling of governing the people. So all those who thought that the True Labour Party was dead, or Via get up and immigrated,
And he's
because he
licking
couldn't
his
take bag
wounds.
off, or he just got fed up and frustrated and left.
Nope.
I'm right here today,
Nope.
and we will continue on making Antigua a better place for the
Absolutely.
people of this country.
Absolutely. No two
And that
ways
is what
about
the True
that.
Labour Party is all about. We will never flinch or give up our principles or the way we believe that we can assist this society and this country
That's
to
right.
be better than it is right now.
Absolutely.
Sometimes, Nedwell, you go around and you campaign and you see the way that the people are living. Right?
Yeah.
And you hear how they're talking.
Yeah,
and
they're
they're saying
telling
they're
you.
safer with Labour.
Yeah, you
Or
know.
some of them are UPP.
It's
and
so
all that
depressing.
Stuff. And you're just like, but you are a human being.
It's so depressing.
You can live better than
Yeah,
this.
man.
Why are you living like this?
You know, where you
That is
settle.
it's not even politics, really.
No, no.
Why
Why
are
you
living
settling
like this? Or
for
why you
something?
why are you even being loyal to people's? Don't you see the standard of living that they're providing for you?
That's right. No.
And you could do a lot better.
Yeah.
You can do a lot better.
no standard.
Maybe because we're a small party and third parties are not usually
That's right.
successful.
Yeah.
People think that let me stick and get the scraps off the table.
That's
like a
right.
vermin or something like that.
Yeah.
But I'm telling ALP supporters, UPP supporters,
You can do better.
all the other third parties, fourth parties, independents, we as a people can do better.
Can do much
than
better.
what this administration, former administrations for a long time
That's
have
right.
done for us as the Antiguan and Barbudan people.
That's so true. But
ahead, Nedwell.
you know, and it's more profitable for the people to buy into a different party, a third or fourth party.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I've been saying this prior to the election, that if you have a different group, well, 3 or 4 different groups in Parliament, arguing your case and representing you in Parliament, you'll be served much better. This, you know, two-party system hasn't worked for the people over the years. A number of years, a great number of years, and they still buy into it. Now, what all I was telling the people that, you know, if you put a different group in Parliament, you have 3 or 4 different parties in Parliament, the arguments will be different. It won't just be 2 arguments you have 4 different arguments, and it will serve the people purpose much better. But they're not buying to it. This two-party system, the blue and red and all that nonsense, this is, you know, long gone, man. We suffered under that for a period of time. And how can we just adapt to it and want to make this a way of life? I do not understand.
As the status quo.
The
status quo needs to change.
It got to
If
change.
we're to be considered revolutionaries and radicals, then so be it.
That's
what I would
exactly-
say
whatever.
to that. I consider what we are attempting to do the third revolution in Antigua and Barbuda's politics.
That's right.
There was the first revolution against slavery.
That's right.
With Prince Class and
That's
several
right.
others.
Oh,
There
yes.
were several
That's
people always resisted or tried
yeah.
to get away from the system.
Yeah, I know
they
about that.
revolted. They
That's right.
failed to overthrow
accomplish.
the system.
Yes, to accomplish.
And in the 16th of January 1939, Papa Bird and the 18LU
that's
was
right.
formed, and they were successful, not against slavery, but they were successful against colonialism.
That's right.
They fought from 39 when the Union came into existence until 1981,
81. That's
where
right.
they got independence.
That's
and
right.
even just as important, or to me even more important, they fought for associated statehood,
That's right.
where they
During
governed
the
their own
time.
internal affairs.
Yes.
In
That's
67,
over the
I
years,
think
that's
it's
right.
February 27th or 28th.
Yeah.
Right,
Something around there.
Yeah, around there.
Yeah,
February
somewhere around
of 67.
Yeah.
They fought for associated statehood. We don't remember it so much today because independence is really the focus.
Yeah, man, the
but I
main
believe
focus.
we need to pay attention to associated
The
statehood
stages that
and the
we went
state
through.
that Antigua and Barbuda was in at that point in time,
right.
and the victory to govern your own internal affairs also.
All
And
those
what I'm
years.
saying, that was the second
Revolution.
The third revolution. Papa is gone, Via Jr. is gone. I am here. I'm a little boy, Weber, the
Of
fourth. If he
course.
wants to take up the struggle, that's up to him. I'm not forcing anybody to
Yeah,
do it.
no,
but I
no.
think that every Antiguan who is of age, past the age of 18,
Right.
and is an elector, needs to realize that this whole business of backing two parties has
Hasn't
led
worked.
to the demise of our country.
Haven't worked.
You
for
need to
years.
have third voices
Of
because
course.
what they
Fourth
say,
and fifth.
you know what they say, Nedwell, is
Yeah.
that when they have the candidates to be to run in the elections, they're thinking about the team.
That's right.
And the team has to
Yes.
agree on
It's
the
all
things
about-
that they don't even feel comfortable with
That's right.
morally and ethically.
Yes,
Because
yes.
it's a team.
You have to be
And because the
patriotic to
party
your-
help you to
That's
get
right.
elected as a member of parliament and a
That's
representative
right.
for the people of whatever constituency, that you are part of a team. So your own moral and ethic codes has to take a backseat to
True
the
to the
team.
team. That's right. It's true.
That sort of mentality, you hear people after they lose the election, they're bitter with the party, and I told them so, and this means I knew this, and if they'd gone down this way, but the situation, that should never be a problem,
No, it
because in the
shouldn't.
Westminster system of government, when you are ethically and morally challenged by a position that your party makes,
That's right.
do you know what they do under the Westminster system, the minister? They resign.
Yeah.
They resign.
Yeah.
I remember fairly recently in 2003, during the war against Iraq, the foreign affairs minister, I can't remember his name, and several other members of the Labour Party government, they were not comfortable
With what was
waging
happening?
an illegal war against Iraq based on the flimsy evidence put forward by Colin Powell
Yeah, and George
the
Bush.
FBI and George Bush.
Just, nonsense.
W.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Iraq was a clear and present threat to the
You know what I'm
United States
saying?
of
Yeah.
America.
Yeah. Weapons of
And the
mass
UK,
destruction.
even less.
That's right.
And you know what they did? They didn't stay there and get ulcers
I know
and
that,
get
sir.
bad feeling and the blood pressure and the stress level rise. What you do is you resign.
Yeah, you just get out of the whole thing. You're not
So
going
this
to be
whole
part of it.
idea we hear the thing that is a team. That is a bastardization of the Westminster system.
That's so true.
And that is what you are seeing practiced in the colonies, not only in Antigua and Barbuda and the
Yeah,
Caribbean
or
region, but
neighboring states.
in Africa, in Pakistan, in other areas where you have the Westminster system of government. The same way or changed because they have amended their constitution and so on. It's all a business that ministers of government representatives, they are part of a team and they don't resign when something is wrong.
Yeah.
I'm imploring the Antigua and Barbuda people to consider third parties. I know they're not going to be the strongest. They can't provide all what a government, a party that's in
That's
government
right.
can
And
provide.
the incumbent
But
government
if
can
you're
do.
thinking the long run for your country,
And
for
yourself.
your children and your grandchildren's
That's
future,
right.
third parties are the way
That's
to
the option.
go.
That
Yeah, you
is
go ahead,
the option.
Nedwell. You have to
Yeah,
say
yes,
about that.
Veer. You know, and I've been saying this time and time again, Veer. I said it previous to the election that third parties, fourth or fifth, you know, the more the merrier.
Yeah.
You have more voices in Parliament, the better the representation you will get. You know, when you go into Parliament and the ayes have it every time because they have the majority and all that nonsense, it doesn't really work. You know, and it hasn't worked for a number of years, for so long. I don't see how it's going to work now. I remember that during our campaign, there was, while we were on the road, there was, we were saying that, how do you do the same thing time and time again and expect a different result doing it the same way?
Yeah,
You know,
what was the quote now?
I don't remember
The
the exact
definition of
insanity.
insanity
Yeah.
is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. That's Albert Einstein.
Yes,
Yeah,
that was it.
yeah.
And I'm so with that because I can't see how it's going to work differently. This is what's been going on for all these years with the two-party system. And if we, the people, continue to maintain and go down that road, it is going to be the same thing time and time again. So the people really need to take a different look at how they go about this political, their going-ons. And, you know, listen to us. Because we are here to lead you in the right path. We are here to make your life a little better, you know, than what you've been going through over the years. As my co-host says, you are settling for mediocrity. You know, we need...
Why not even mediocrity? I cannot see this government when we've had such successful governments in the past.
Prior.
If you're saying we're compared to some of the other islands in the Caribbean which didn't progress as far
That's
as
right.
we progressed in such a short period of
All
time.
right. You know, you're
You're
comparing.
comparing chalk to cheese.
That's right. But
And
if you're
we should be
comparing to what
further
we had...
above and beyond a lot of these other
yes,
islands.
yes.
Because we were given so much on our independence.
That's so true.
We had our land.
That's right.
We purchased those
We
from the
purchased
city
it.
yet. We're in a position where Antiguans
Great
could
foresight.
afford affordable land.
Great foresight. This is
So
what
we
the
purchased
politicians
that.
just... That's right.
That is a phenomenon that happened in Antigua.
Oh, man, that's great.
No other island has
No
done that
other
in the
island.
Caribbean.
That's right.
And there was a land grab that it was assisted by both the corrupt Labour Party and UPP.
That's right.
They did
Over
not
the years,
protect
that's
the
right,
lands
yeah.
of Antigua and
Yeah.
Barbuda for future generations.
Yeah, not at
and you
all.
can see that in the beaches. Even the beaches, the 7 or 8
beachfronts.
beaches that were supposed to be put aside for Antigans.
And now
They have
being...
not put it into legislation. Papa Bird say so.
Yeah.
That's good and fine. But he's dead and gone.
Yeah.
How
So
are you
now-
preserving these lands for future generations?
Not at all.
You know they had the big rush up at Long Bay where they
Yeah,
had people
remember
poaching,
that.
and they're supposed to have some big Ferris wheel and some
Yeah,
amusement
I
park
remember
up
all
there
that
and all
good
that
stuff.
nonsense. I protested up there already.
What a thing. Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Those things, those beaches, and I don't believe just the 7 or 8 beaches that Papa Bird talked about. I believe all beaches in Antigua and Barbuda are supposed to be part of national parks.
For the people.
Those beaches are to be
People.
preserved.
That's
And I'm
right.
talking about just leave them in the natural state now. I'm talking about improving on what is there.
Of
because
course.
what the condition is, you go to these beaches, you see all kind of litter and
nonsense,
bottles and
all
so
kind
on.
of
I
chuckiness.
believe we have to treat those beaches like if it was a child.
Yeah.
You have to give them the bottle and change the pamper, and you have to nurture
Of
it. You know why?
course, of course.
It's not for you to go
No,
dipping.
no.
It's for
Future.
2, 3, 4, 5 generations.
Future generations
Their
on the
brother
way.
7, that
That
their brother
is
8.
ninth. You know what I'm
Say,
saying?
boy,
That's right.
their
But-
brother number 3 stood up for me.
Yeah, of course. But let me say something here. You know, amazingly, some of the people that protested against what was going on up along way now buying into the whole nonsense. You understand?
Listen,
It's
Edward.
so crazy.
I went up there with about 15 people. If I can ask you, if I can't guarantee you that even one of those individuals outside of myself
Right, I know.
would be willing
Standing up.
to go on the radio and speak out against what happened up
Not
there.
one. Not one.
Not one.
Not one, yeah. You're the only one that's keep
I,
on.
I'm a God-fearing man.
Yeah.
I'm not the holiest, most wearing my
No,
religion
no.
on my
That's
sleeve.
right.
And so how could you, when God wouldn't want this, because we are human beings, and I just don't like being a hypocrite.
That's right.
But I will say this, and it is my guidance to look at the Bible and the stories that they taught me in Sunday school coming from a Christian household. Not so much that I even read the whole entire Bible, but the stories.
Yeah.
There was a man by the name of Jesus of Nazareth, and he did all good in this world. And at the end of the day,
still
when he was
him
looking for his supporters,
they weren't there.
when the cock crowed, he couldn't find one.
Weren't there. They weren't there.
The disciple and their
That is so true, man. Not even
so
the
I say,
disciples.
if that could happen to a man or a god or demigod
That's
with
right.
sin, do I expect better from the people who used to support me?
No.
Every time I go out on the campaign trail or I being politically active, I am doing that regardless if somebody was with me
That's so true.
or not.
That's right.
Because you look to your left and you look to your right, some get money, some get promised job, some get frightened and think that, Lord, Mr. Bird, you go too fast, too quick,
Yeah, the idea.
too soon.
No.
And therefore, we just keep quiet. And they love to tell you, I'm just looking, I'm just watching what's playing out. I'm just here.
Yeah?
You vote for something, you support something, but now that the issue needs your support or your assistance to move forward, you say all you do is just watch and look on.
You're
Look on the politics.
What is that?
That is the Antiguan mentality. So when I'm out on the picket line, when I'm an activist, when I'm campaigning, I'm doing it because I think
Of
what
course,
is right.
yeah.
I'm not compromised by anybody.
You're doing it from conscience.
And I'm doing it for, if not for the Antiguan people, for me, myself, my picnic,
And the future
for my
generation.
friends, the people my supporters. And I just believe we are on the right path.
Absolutely.
We chose the hard path as a political organization.
That's right.
We didn't say we were getting into politics to go take money from Negro men.
None of that stuff.
Or that the first hint that we could get on a major party's ticket, the candidates or Weber the third go jump over. They just want to be on the ticket because gas and tell you
None of
can't,
that
not
stuff.
on my ticket.
That's right. None of
We
that.
said we were going to take the hard road, the difficult road, in that we're not going to compromise our principles. We're not going to just get into politics for getting into parliament.
Yes.
So when we have so many of our supporters saying, "Oh Lord, I want to cheer you, where are you go, and I have full
doesn't
slate,
matter,
and
man.
this and that,"
Nothing.
that is taking the hard road.
That's right. Nothing
The
good.
difficult
Nothing
road.
good come easy.
Because
There.
nothing good comes easy.
easy.
And what you see is a lot of people
Yeah.
who are willing to switch rather than to fight.
Yeah.
You understand?
That's what we're witnessing at this
We're
point in
witnessing a
time.
lot of people who was made ambassador, who tell me how they wanted third party
Yeah.
before me. I was considering third party. Then come the election 2014, man shut up and man come ambassador or whatsoever.
Yeah.
That
I've
is
nothing
the
else to
reality.
say about the
That is
ills.
the reality.
Yeah.
People, the mentality of the Antiguan people and people overall, they're rather to switch and join the other side than to continue fighting
Than to
for
fight
what,
for what is right.
hearts
What is right. Yeah. What is right.
You
Yeah.
understand?
That is
so
so true.
if the true party don't make it, it is because that we stood for something.
That's right.
When the true Labour Party makes it, it's because we realized we had a hard fight.
Oh, man.
And we never gave up to the bitter end, whatever the result is. That is
Yeah.
where I stand.
And we'll be so
politically.
glad because the
After
people
we
will
get
see
the
the
two bang off
difference.
2014
Yeah.
and 2018,
Yeah.
we will continue.
Of course, we
You
can't
understand?
give up. We're doing what is right, and we're determined to make sure that the people of Antigua benefits from what is really due to them and all that good stuff. But again, as we said, the people have to play their part as well. The people have to understand where they're going and want to go down that road. I hate to talk about the handouts and all that good stuff, but all that plays a part into their mindset, and they need to change that mindset, knowing that the handout doesn't serve benefit them for any long period. So, we want you to listen to us, and we want you to understand that we are not just here to gimmick you like how the two parties operate, because there's so many different things that you are promised 2014. I remember that you were supposed to get water in galore. Look at what we are getting at this point in time. This morning we saw some water when me and we came in, my co-host, and I said, "Wait, what is that? Diesel?" you know, all these things, you know, they're then really not doing us any justice in terms of what we are supposed to be getting.
Or what they promised us.
What
We're
they
always supposed to
promised,
get what
that's
they
right.
promised us.
They promised that
What they
we were
promised
going to-
us. We're not even holding them to some first world
None of
better
that,
than anything else.
No,
you know?
none of that standard.
No,
But
we're
we're
just
just saying, you
based on what
promised
you
us.
promised the
You
people
promised this
before the
you
election.
and none of
You're
that.
falling short. Not even this election.
Short.
Promises that were made 2014.
Like they haven't even started off.
Yeah.
Not all short. But yeah.
That's the sad reality.
Very
I'd just
sad.
like to let the people know that what we promised the people, that we are continuing on with our efforts to build our community center.
Oh, yes.
It has been
Very
delayed
important.
because donations that were promised to us did
Did not reach.
not come to fruition.
Yeah, it did not reach us.
Certain things happened with me financially where I could not take on the burden last
On
year
your- on your-
of
on
going
your-
to the
on
bank
your
to get a
own.
loan.
Yeah, on your own.
By the end of this year, things should be in a better position, I believe.
Yes.
And we are moving on. And I'm hoping that before the year end, we can get the land cleared down and probably fenced.
Yes,
I think I could
yes,
take that
yes.
on
Yeah.
at that point in time
Yeah,
because we're going to have to clean it
personally.
down and then we're going to have to get some of that spray.
Yeah.
Kill
kill
whatever
the
grass. Kill it
grass.
so it don't grow back.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and then you get the cart out of the way, fence it up and so on, and then
Get
we'll
going.
wait,
Get going.
go in,
Yeah.
finish up what we promised the people. I am 100% committed to building that community center, hurricane
Absolutely,
shelter,
it's necessary.
and that is the way the True Labour Party is going.
That's the
I
road.
believe it is an error for third political organizations to talk about we're going to have a full slate. I heard another political organization, I think it's the DNA, when they
Yeah,
started off
it's
with people
them.
of last year
Yeah.
talking about they're going to have a full slate.
Yeah.
You open yourself up to being fighting to get to 17.
That's
and
right.
if you don't get to 17, then you're considered you lied or you failed.
That's right. That's right.
The emphasis for this party is that we will eventually get there.
At that point,
But
yeah,
we're not going to emphasize just
That's
getting to
what it
17.
is. No, that's
it's
what
the
it is.
caliber of the individual, the character of the individual who we are putting on our slate.
That's right.
That is more
important
to
than
us.
the
You
17.
can get to 17, and we could have gotten to 17
Oh, easily.
2014,
Easily with
but
any-
the caliber of the people.
That's
Can
right.
you let these people loose on the public if the people
Knowing that
vote
they're
for
not.
you?
That's right.
Voted for you. Do you think that you'll get a better government? A lot of the people that came forward,
No.
they didn't meet that standard
No.
for me.
No, not at all.
They were eager to get into office to go probably thief.
Yeah, to behave
more
the
money.
same how. Behave the same how.
Yeah, even worse.
And you know what I'm saying? And
Lie, thief, cheat,
you hear him saying, man?
manipulate,
Yeah.
exploit. No,
That's the crazy
I am
stuff.
not into that. You know why?
Stuff.
Because the reason I left the Labour Party is
It's
for
so that-
behavior
Yeah,
like
you couldn't.
this.
Yeah, you couldn't take that.
If I was just about getting into office
You'll be
and
still
it
there.
wasn't about the principle, I might as well
Yeah,
stay
you'll
with
be
the
still
Labour Party.
there. You'll be still there.
So I get out of that to start something that is the same way. It don't make any sense.
That's crazy. That'd
So
be some
if
crazy
that is
stuff.
to the 17, what you're saying, look at the caliber
No.
of the individuals in the True Labour Party.
You don't need
And
to get to
we,
17.
At the end of the day, I'm not saying a week from now, a year from now, 3 months from now, that we will take government.
Mm-hmm.
But we are setting the foundation to build something separate apart of what has gone before,
That's right.
based on principle,
Proper
upright
government.
people that want better for
Good
the country and the
governance.
countrymen.
Good
Period.
governance. Yes.
That is what we're all about. I stand committed, and not only myself, but I think I speak for Nedwell, I speak for the branch of
Absolute.
True Labour South branch,
That's right.
and the party overall,
Party
the
itself.
executive. We are committed to building our community center, and it will be done.
Yep.
So that is where I would leave it at that point. Nedwell, anything you want to say at this point?
Well, you know, again, I just want to remind the people that we need to take a different look at how we are going about doing things and how we're going about taking the politics. And, you know, listen to us because we are here to lead you down the right path. As my co-host just told you, we are not here just to operate the same way how these people, and we just want to do it on our own. You know, as he said to you, if that's the road he was going to take, he would still be with the party that he was earlier. So we are here to lead you down the right path, and we're asking you to listen to us. And then we'll be advising you as time goes on. And we do hope that somewhere down the road, we'll be able to give you proper governance.
Well said.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to move on to another issue now. We have about 20 minutes roughly left in the podcast.
Yeah.
And I was in New York as I was marooned, lost my passport, and I heard the unfortunate news that 400 workers at the call center
Out of work.
were going to be unemployed,
Out of work.
right? And I heard the statements from Gaston Brown. Not only did I read them, but I believe at some station they had the audio with him telling people about on his radio station, telling people to go on farm, and that the jobs that the call center were providing were low wage jobs and no jobs without skills, and that Antigua were better, so that they didn't really care about those jobs, right? But he went and lied on the workers. He said that the reason why the call center was closing and relocating to Jamaica was because of customer service, that the Antiguans employed there did not know how to relate to customers of the call center. Do you remember that?
Yes, I heard that.
No, I just want the public to be aware of this. Mr. Brown is a damn blasted liar.
Absolutely.
Right? The reason why he could not admit the fact that the call center went to Jamaica is because he has been a failure in attracting business to Antigua and Barbuda.
That's right.
He has not made it financially sound to invest in Antigua and Barbuda. It is no benefit to put in investments in this country because the people are getting better benefits in Jamaica and several other islands. That is the reality. That is why he couldn't admit the fact that they left, because Antigua was not financially viable to the employers at this call center. He was talking about making Antigua an economic powerhouse.
Yeah, you remember that. That's what he said.
My question has always been, how are you going to compete with other islands that are doing the same thing that you're doing, the same tourism industry?
Yeah.
They're all doing it.
That's right.
The call center, that's a little blight for people, poor people and people without school can make a decent living
That's right.
and pay their bills and start off until they can catch their hand and do something else.
Yeah.
The Prime Minister lied on those young people, those poor people, saying that they were not doing their jobs to a standard. The person who was not doing their job is the Prime Minister
himself.
because he got into office since
2014.
March? No, it's June. Remember, it's June, got that late, like June 2014. And still, businesses are leaving and relocating because Antigua economically is not an investment worthy of making.
That's right. It's not attracting.
It's not attracting.
Yeah.
And that is going to happen to a lot more companies.
I want to believe so, I want to believe so. But this is the irony about that is that he lied on the people. He lied on the employees. This is not a good thing, he knows what it is. And he knows it is not that. It wasn't that. And he went out there, and it goes to show you that they don't want to take the blame for anything. Even though that they know that it's them. They don't even want to go down that road and take the blame and say, all right, and we will try and correct it or something of that sort.
So true.
None of that stuff. He's trying to blame somebody else. He's trying to blame the employer to say, you are the reason why you're out of a job. And it is not that way. It's a horrible situation. And I do hope that the people are noticing that the type of person that these people are, they're not accepting the blame, even though they know that the blame falls on them. They should be they're trying to make Antigua a more attractive place to come and invest, more attractive place to do business. You are supposed to learn from your mistakes. And in the way you go about and lying on these people, you go to show you that you're not even accepting that you made mistakes. You're not accepting that you can do better and you need to do better. And you just saying, well, you're the reason, and why this is happening to you. Well, because you're like this, you can go out and you can start do some cultivation, and it might be more tractable financially for you, and all that nonsense. Yeah, this is so crazy stuff, the way that you represent people. That's poor representation. And yes, of course. And then when I heard that after telling people that it's safer with labor, and people buying into that and going around saying it's safer with labor. How safe are you out of a job a couple months down the line after the last election? This is just really a horrible situation for the people of Antigua and Barbuda. We need, that's what we are saying here. You need to take a second look, or third or fourth look at how you do business when it comes to politics, and deal with people who wants to represent you properly. This is poor representation, and this is one of the things we spoke of during the last election. You need to look for representation. Poor representation is what you're getting time and time again, and you still go down that road. And look at what happened. Now it comes down that he's blaming you for what happened, when it's not like that. I remember I was working with St. John's Development, and there were quite a number of seminars and workshops that I went to. And this was rampant around Antigua, because we know that we are a tourism country, a country that deals with tourism. And we know that customer service and all that was very important within a country that deals with tourism. And there are many seminars and workshops that I have been to that talks about the customer service and tells you how you deal with customers and all that good stuff. So for the Prime Minister to come and behave like we are just some sort of primitive country that don't even know how to deal with customer service and all that. It's awful. It's an awful situation, and we need to get ourselves out of that sort of a predicament. It is not good at all. It is far from being good. We need to change the way how we do things. We need to look at who wants to represent you properly and take a second look. We need to get out of favoritism and all that good stuff. These things are not benefiting us over the years, and I don't see it's going to benefit us now. So we need to take a second look and do something different. We need to look at and deal with people who will call spade a spade and all that good stuff, and then stop go down that path. But it's a horrible situation to see what happened to those people, and I wish them all the best somewhere down the road, that they get into some other industry or some other form of employment that will serve them purpose. Because this cultivation thing, and it's not just that, because I remember way back he was telling people that coming home, when to educate themselves, go cut wood, burn coal. This is the alternative for these guys. They're not trying to come up with no proper employment for people. We have to be creative. You have to come up with something that, you have to create proper jobs and employment for people, because you have people leaving their homes and they go abroad and they educate themselves to come back. Not to hear these nonsense that will go and burn coal and plant food and all that good stuff. So I don't know exactly where they're coming from with that. But it seems as if they're determined for people to follow that path. Because even with this call center thing, and he comes up with this cultivation thing again, go down and plant food and all that time. This is not good. They are pretending as if they don't have a part to play in people's life. And you have to be creative. In these first world countries, you see, they talk about job creation. Job creation is a very important aspect, because if you don't, your unemployment rate is going to be very high. And it seems as if they don't care, but they intend to take care of the unemployment, the high unemployment, by people going out there and trying to do it on their own. Maybe, and I don't even know how that's going to happen, because soon from now we're going to have a land shortage. So I don't even know what they're going to cultivate on anyway in the first place. It's so confusing there. They need to stop this nonsense and look at it the way how it's supposed to be. It is not being done that way there.
It's
not at all. It's just a horrible situation.
I'd just like to say, right? We're going to close off with this topic about the call center.
Yeah.
That I do remember listening in the United States to the audio clip where we was telling people that they can do better than that, and these are the jobs that we don't really want, because we want jobs with skill, and these lower end jobs are not going to provide skills.
Where are they?
But where are they?
Where are they?
You've been in there since 2014 talking about an
provided any
economic
of that.
powerhouse.
You haven't
But
provided
even
any of
more
that.
than that, just last week, you heard the government is going to take CIP money and provide work for 100 of the 400 call center former employees. And what are they going to do? They're going to be doing data entry of all the archives, the old birth certificates and marriage certificates and death certificates, because the paper is fading and the documents that they're on is being damaged with wear and tear over so many years. So they're going to provide work for some of these people by data entry. Not the problem with you creating jobs, right? But when you go and tell people that the call center jobs are not the ones you really need in Antigua, they're low paying and they don't have any skills, then you go and provide work for 100 of the same people in a low paying job without any skills being provided for them to better themselves by data entry.
You know what I'm saying?
The Prime Minister is a goddamn hypocrite.
Absolutely.
He's a hypocrite.
Absolute.
He knows these are dead end jobs. And he basically losing 400 of these dead end jobs, but he has only been able to replace 100 of the 400 jobs
with the
same dead end jobs.
You know,
what skills are you going to get to data entry? Where you're going to learn to scan a document with a scanning machine into a computer?
No.
People do that. They don't have to go to school for that.
In your home,
the average young person
in his
from
home.
about 11, 12 years old know how to scan something
right
in
his home if he
scan
has a
it
scanner.
That's right. To a PDF format and then email it off. So what you telling me? What you telling me?
It is sickening. I just don't understand exactly.
The way this fella operate and tell people these things. They need to pay attention. He's belittling the people.
Yeah, very much
and
so.
I'm good. They did stand up to him and tell him that's not what we were told. We were told that the economics of continuing this business in Antigua, the profits, it was cutting into the profits continuing in Antigua because it was better as a financial business decision to go where it is more affordable labor and utilities, the electricity, the telephones in
which is
Jamaica,
true.
Which is the truth.
Yeah, it is true.
And I don't think anybody will deny it.
No.
But the Prime Minister cannot admit to that. Because that is saying you came before the 2014 election, you and the rest of the bottoms, and then Lester and Baldwin and Robin and blah, 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 and Ray. We can do it. We know how to do this thing. We have done it before, and we'll do it again. To me, they're like they're pulling a rabbit out of the hat.
Yeah, of course.
They were like, watching some Martha Stewart or some sort of, what other lady before that? The cooking magic. You just cut up 2 yam, and you cut up your onion, and you get some fresh thyme, and
try it all together.
And you bust down 2 cassava and peel them off and throw them in a big pot.
Man,
and you just had a pot of boil, and you throw in all your essence and everything.
All together.
Instant good times, instant employment. That's the sort of nonsense they feed to people.
Horrible.
You know?
It is horrible.
And that is why we're in position. Yeah. But part of the blame must be on the Antiguan electorate.
Yeah, the people themselves.
Because they fall for it all the time. And it's not a matter of them telling you and you just rush to the polling station and vote in. When they come to your house before the election, you're supposed to ask the difficult questions.
Ask questions.
When they come to you after the elections, and come and have the Christmas party, and come and have this function, and have this giveaway for Christmas time. Ask them. You promised us this. You said you're going to do that.
Yes, you must ask.
Ask questions, the difficult questions. I don't want to trouble him now because he's so busy. I don't want them to get irate.
You know what I'm saying?
Make them irate because they're the ones that are going to improve your life.
Of course, they promised
that you are safer with labor.
They promised that.
And the 400 workers up at the call center, some of them had on their safer with labor shirts. I'm sure some of them will probably have to eat those shirts.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
hungry, though, unfortunately. They
Oh,
were
good
up there
man.
with their shirts saying they're safer with Labour.
Yeah,
And little
next
did they
thing you know.
on the 3 months later,
You're out of a job.
work.
You're out of a
and the
job.
Prime Minister say, oh, that job is nothing. You're supposed to go and burn coal and farm and go
plant
fight
some
somewhere
food
for make a
and
living.
all that crazy stuff.
That's just disrespect.
No, absolute.
That's just
I
disrespect.
totally agree with that. Yeah.
That's absolute
And,
disrespect. I
yeah.
don't know any other leader that Antigua's ever had would be so callous,
Yeah,
so
behave
flippant with their
in
mouth.
such.
And you know you
manner.
have done so little for the poorer class.
That's right.
And now you're going to come to tell them that go burn coal and go to farm. And then how much of these people in the class that know how to raise pigs?
Yeah,
I don't know how to
understand
raise
what I'm
pigs.
saying? Yeah.
I know how to eat pork.
Yeah, but you know how it come about.
You know? I don't know how to raise no pig. A pig style is something that stink.
Yeah, man, absolute. You know what I'm
They had
saying?
land for raise pig.
In the
We
first
get
place.
raise a pig in the backyard.
In your
You think they're
backyard.
Hey, pig
How
and
you
so
gonna live?
can bite, you know.
All
Pig can
that.
kill, you know.
All that. And the
They're very
stench.
vicious animals.
And the stench.
The stench.
The stench that comes from that pen.
So you going to give them land that you already give away to all the CIP people. You have no land.
Yeah.
I going to tell them you will give them land for the
yeah.
raise pig.
Yeah.
You're going to give them a startup capital
Yeah.
to raise a farm, whether it's
Well,
animal farm or growing provisions.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know
It
what I'm
has
saying?
to be a startup.
You
When
must.
you just lost your job. What are you going to? How are you going to provide all the tools? You think you're just going to?
You don't even have money to pay your bills. Your
How are you going to
bills.
afford the equipment to
Your
to
bills
rig
are in
and the
jeopardy.
whole-
Much less.
Huh?
Your bills are in jeopardy much less. Can't
telling
pay
you.
your bills much less you have money to go and start
If you're
off
going to
with do
start a
something
business, you have to have money to invest.
initial
Business don't
capital.
start
You have to have
0%
that
capital.
initial capital.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy, man. It's sickening.
It's
really
sickening.
sickening.
It's sad
I
because we
don't
just came
know.
off an election and the same issues that we tried to get to the electorate, ask the difficult questions.
Yes. You have
Ask
to
the
know. You
different
have to
questions.
find out what it is all about and what is going to happen down and how you're going to handle this and how you're going to handle
Question people in authority.
No.
Question them.
that. No.
That is what you do in a democracy.
I'm
You
on-
don't go put on a $20 T-shirt saying "Safe
Safe
Later."
Labour.
Get
And
on
that's
the
it.
motorcade or the
And that's
window
it.
stop. Carry a little food, your
And get
rice
to
and your pork
beers
and
and
your chicken,
all that.
cup of beers, and you have your moving party.
beer,
and you
man.
think all is going to be
Oh,
well.
beer. Not
That
at
is
all.
just a feel-good
For a moment.
for a moment.
A
That is just a
moment.
mechanism the politicians use to make you feel good, to
course.
make you feel a part of a team,
That's
to make
right.
you feel wanted. But I guarantee you, after the 21st of March, a lot of those people
That's it.
who were with their safer with
Safer,
Labour
yeah.
shirts realize they were
that
not
they're
safer.
not safe at all.
Unfortunately,
They're
they
far
crooked
from
them
being
in
safe.
2014, they crooked them again.
Of course.
You know?
And they will cook them again and again if,
If
they
they
allow
do
them.
not
If they
wisen
allow,
up
that's right, and do
support
something
third
different.
parties.
That's so
Then,
true.
we have about 3 minutes to go.
Wow, it went by quickly.
I will say a few words
Yes,
in
Yes.
closing, and then we usually end with you.
I certainly.
I am back in Antigua and Barbuda, the land of my birth. I'm so pleased to get back here and to see my co-host, my buddy, my sparring,
man, I'm glad to
Lionel
see you.
Nedwell, and
Yes.
all the True Labour supporters, all my clients. As a lawyer, you know, people say, where you there? We need this, we need that, but now I go nobody else. I am so thankful for the loyalty that so many of them have shown me. I really appreciate the people from St. John's Road South who I campaigned with. Some of them had difficulties and were contacting me about them. I've tried to do my best even outside of Antigua, but I am back now, and I will be making an attempt this week coming to come out and see you. Not the whole
Yes.
thing, it's not a full-blown campaign,
No,
but we're going
you
to go
need to
once
see our
a week
people.
or once every fortnight
Appreciation.
and so on, and just to touch the flesh and let you know. The last 4 months I was quiet, not due to circumstances out of my control, but I am here now, and we will continue with forming a political organization that has broken away from the other major organizations, because the way, the
They
path
have
that they
things.
went down, we believe the
Weren't
Antigua and
satisfied
Barbuda
with it.
people could do a lot better.
That's so true.
And that is where I will leave it this week. With the grace of God, we'll be back again next week. Edwell, you
Yes,
have the
ladies
outro.
and gentlemen, we are so glad to be back here with you. It's so delightful to come here and talk to you and deal with the issues of what's going on in Antigua and to show you the way, the proper path to take. As my co-host told you, we weren't here because of circumstances, but we are back and we are glad to be back. And you know, I've been saying prior to the last election that you really really need to take a second look at how you do things. And this is a serious thing, because at least now you see, we had 2 successive elections, and you see what you got. And you see what you're getting, and you need to change the way of how you do things, because a 3rd and 4th election and you do the same thing, the same thing is going to happen to you. It's going to be poor representation. Representation is very important in your lives, your daily lives, and you need to play your part in order to get proper representation and get things going in your favor. Third party, we are a third party. We know that is not the easy road to go, but at least that's a road that will benefit you, your children, and your grandchildren down the road. So we are asking you to take that look, take a serious look at it, and decide what you're going to do about improving your lives.
Well said, Nedwell. Yeah. So, listening public, thank you so much. Keep tuning in every week. We'll try to keep out our podcasts and all the issues affecting you as an Antiguan and Barbuda. Even if you're not an Antiguan and Barbuda, if you reside in Antigua and expats abroad in the United Kingdom, England, Canada, United States, please stay tuned. We're here and we're committed to this cause. Take care and bye for now.
Bye.
A buzzard took a monkey for a ride in the air. The monkey thought that everything was on the square. The buzzard tried to throw the monkey off of his back, but the monkey grabbed his neck and said, "Now listen, Jack. Straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and fly right. Cool down, Papa, don't you blow your top. Ain't no use in diving. What's the use of diving? Straighten up and fly right. Cool down, Papa, don't you blow your top." The buzzard told the monkey, "You are choking me. Release your hold and I will set you free." The monkey looked the buzzard right dead in the eye and said, "Your story's so touching, it sounds just like a lie. Straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and stay right. Straighten up and fly right. Cool down, Papa, don't you blow your top." Bree, bree, doo, bree, bree, doo, da 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 da. The buzzard told the monkey, "You are choking me. Release your hold and I will set you free." The monkey looked the buzzard right dead in the eye and said, "Your story's so touching, it sounds just like a lie. Straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and stay right. Straighten up and fly right. Cool down, Papa, don't you blow your top. Straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and stay right. Straighten up and fly right. Cool down, Papa, don't you blow your